For today's story, we are talking about further problems with ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends. Sometimes it doesn't end well. Sometimes it ends poorly. And we're covering one such story with a guy who wanted his ex-girlfriend's new lover dead and tried to use the mail to find an assassin. I didn't know that you could look for an assassin via mail. Who do you write to? What address do you write to for the assassination efforts? I don't know. Maybe we'll learn. Let's get started with this. A man was sentenced on Wednesday to 7 years in prison for targeting the new beau of his former girlfriends. According to the authorities, Ryan Aziz Ferris Hadid, 43, wanted to kill the fiance of an ex-girlfriend in Tampa, Florida, and also the boyfriend of another ex-girlfriend in Rome, Georgia. He has problems letting go. Dude, we've all been there. You know, we've all been there. The one that got away, are heartbroken, you know, and feel a little bit of anger or bitterness towards the other guy and wondering where it all went wrong. We've all been there. But, you know, maybe not so much with the murder plots. That seems a little much. The defendant's actions in this case were meticulously planned and executed, the prosecutors wrote. Law enforcement said the case landed on their radar after a business owner in Broward County, Florida, told them about receiving a suspicious letter in the mail. What? According to the prosecutor's sentencing memorandum, the author asked this business person to kill someone for $10,000. What? Writing in this letter, apparently, I need someone eliminated. I've been told you can arrange that. What? $10,000, all in cash and upfront. Person located in Tampa. You can be there and back in a day. You get their photo, first name, work address, and home address. If you agree, on Monday, the 11th of October at 11 a.m., go to the little coffee shop in Coral Springs. Buy a cup of coffee. Paste a black sheet of white paper on your storefront window from Monday to Wednesday. Informational payment will be sent once you accept. If not, you will not be contacted again. Name and return address are fake. Okay. The author went by the name of Alan Smithy, a popular way for directors to distance themselves from a project. The big hitch in the plan, however, was the recipient of the letter wanted nothing to do with this plot and went to law enforcement. The source posted the paper on the storefront window, but didn't go to the coffee shop. Investigators conducted surveillance and spotted a gray Honda Accord driving through the parking lot. Hadid was the only insured driver for the vehicle, though it was registered to his brother. So yeah, so the investigators, they followed the instructions basically, right, of the guy. It's like, well, he's going to have to be able to see this thing. And so we'll look for everyone who's walking by in this time period and, you know, try to figure out who it was. And one of the guys they spotted was this guy. Yeah. The source contacted authorities again in October and described receiving another letter. Smithy, in reality Hadid, had noted the white paper outside the storefront, but also the source's failure to show up at the coffee shop. From documents, I'm not dragging this out. If you're still interested in the job, mark a large X on a white sheet of paper and hang it outside the storefront from October the 20th and for a full week. Once confirmed, you will get the money in full and details on the person to be eliminated. This is important. You could take the money and do nothing. I would be out 10 G's and have to find someone else. If this works out, there's another job that will pay you double or name your price in a small town of Georgia or no more, Tampa first. Dude, this seems like maybe not the best plan. The source followed the order this time, putting up a white sheet with black X in a storefront, Local police set up a speed radar trailer that captured the license plate of defendant's vehicle. In a follow-up letter, the letter's author noted the target lived in a gated community, but included a map. The source followed instructions to put up the black X in the storefront window. The person received $10,000 in cash through the mail. Nice. The package included a letter featuring the target's address, pictures of him, and notes on where he might be. You have the money, so you're holding all the cards, the author wrote. We'll know when the subject is taken out. Need it done before the end of 2021. What? Just for the record, guys, please don't send me to my address solicitations for murder. I don't want that. And if you do, I will totally report you to the authorities. So maybe not so much. Investigators contacted the target and the fiance, telling them about the letters. He said he received a letter by mail in May 2020, which he believed was intended to break up his relationship. This included intimate photos of the woman and disrespectful statements about character and infidelity. Oh, good, he's sending revenge porn to the new fiance and stuff in an attempt to break up the relationship. That's great. The fiance told authorities 2 days later she believed that Hadid, the ex-boyfriend, could be behind the murder for hire plot. So one of the things they're doing is they're asking the victims, like, hey, do you have any idea who this could be? And she said, it's Hadid. And Hadid, also his license plate was spotted by the license plate scanners near the coffee shop. So, you know, we're beginning to suspect maybe it's Hadid. Yeah. She told law enforcement the defendant was infatuated with her to an unhealthy degree and informed him many times of this desire that she leave the victim and be with defendant. Dude, again, I mean, I feel you a little bit, bro. I understand. But, you know, she doesn't want to be with you. I know it hurts. Been there, done that. Understand. But, you know, there's other fish in the sea or something. Or I don't know. Maybe not so much with the murder plot. Yeah. I don't think murdering the fiance is going to drive her into your arms. And not seeing that one. Investigators looked up Hadid in the source's store records and found out he once made a purchase there. Hadid purchased a flight from Trinidad and Tobago in 2021 and flew out the following November 10th, the same day he got the cash and pictures of targets. He bought a return flight December 15th and came back to Miami International Airport. During a secondary inspection, a border search was conducted on 2 smartphones in defendant's possession. So it looks like maybe the local police have tipped off Border Patrol and be like, hey, you know, if this guy comes back in the United States, could you know, search his phone? Because, of course, we're at the border and we can search stuff without a warrant at the border. So could you conduct a search of his phone? Yeah. So it looks like maybe there was some coordination there with local police and Border Patrol. Hey, you've been randomly selected for a secondary inspection. Okay. So anyways, we conducted a search of his phone. The black Samsung S8 phone contained 3 intimate images of the victim that were sent in 2020 to the victim. So the images that were sent in this letter attempting to break them up were found on his phone, further evidence of his potential involvement. The images showed defendant's face inside a square in the upper right corner of the image, resembling FaceTime messaging. The metadata of these images established they were captured in May 2020. Defendant's face in the upper right corner were cropped out of the letter in 2020. So, yeah. Authorities said they found a debit card in his wallet. Again, because we're conducting a search at the border, remember? The bank account associated with the card was one used to make the $10,000 withdrawal. Our evidence against him continues to rise. Hadid admitted mailing from a Coral Springs post office the letter, money, and also being at the coffee shop. It also turned out he carried a flame for another ex-girlfriend who lived in Rome, Georgia. He wrote her an email in August 2020 that said she knew she was happy with her new boyfriend, but he wanted her to be with him. Hadid asked her to marry him. I'm guessing the answer was no. Authorities said the new boyfriend in Georgia was the secondary target of the murder for hire plot. According to the sentencing memorandum, the ex-girlfriend told investigators she did not get any suspicious letters and did not believe the boyfriend has received any. Hadid must also serve 3 years supervised release. And, being a convicted felon in law will be deported unless he's also a U.S. citizen. So, yeah, so that's going super, super great. Let's wrap this up. So, my friends, that brings us to the end of the story. Love, my friends, is indeed a battlefield, and it is a battlefield sometimes with casualties. Those casualties can be to the heart, and our hearts can be broken. Why didn't they choose me? And seeing them happy with someone else can be quite painful. This I understand. But maybe less with the murder for hire plots. Time heals wounds and stuff. But maybe less with the murder plots. It seems like a bad way to go about life. So yeah, this guy was caught by the police, and they've developed information that he might be the guy. And then as he crossed the border into the United States, they're like, let's inspect your things. And they found further evidence against him, which led to him being questioned, which led to him confessing, which led to the conviction. So don't do the murder for hire. And that, for the moment, brings us to the end of the discussion of this story.